the Defender. Stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Three River Survival. So I have this really cool fixed blade EDC knife from Core Essentials. Tor Knives and Core Essentials teamed up to make this knife. I have been carrying this thing around for almost a month now. There's some things I like about it, some things I don't, but we're going to get into that in a second. What I need you guys to do is to like, subscribe. Please subscribe, guys. Just hit that little bell icon. It lets everybody know when my next video comes out, and it really does help the algorithms. If you are somebody that wants to sponsor a video, that's fine. Just drop me an email at 3riversurvival@gmail.com and let me know what products you want me to check out. For those guys that want to be Patreon members, it only costs you $1 a month and you get to watch videos like this before anybody else. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. I will have all the links down below for this blade and Core Essentials belts. You guys know that I'm a huge fan of Core Essential belts, and I have another product review coming up as well, so stay tuned for that. All right, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the camera so you guys get a better look at this, and then we'll talk a little bit more about my likes and not likes. All right, guys, so first things first, this is a collab. These knives are made in the United States, which I really do like. Tor Knives is the manufacturer, and Core Essentials, they did do a collaborative. Nothing crazy about the box. But it is veteran owned, so if you want to support your veterans, I would recommend purchasing from Tor Knives or Core Essentials. Fantastic made products. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about this guy right here. Now, this is called the Defender. It does come in a Wharncliffe style, and it does have a nice little saber grind. It does come with a ring, and it has a robust or slabs on the side of the metal or the handle, so it fits very well in the hand. It also has some nice jimping or nice grooves up there, which do allow you to put a thumb on there, and it's very, very grippy. All right, so I like that a lot. Right hand, left hand, doesn't matter. The slabs are pretty robust. They are a little bit blocky, and it does not go all the way to the top. Some people like that, and some people don't. I'm not a huge fan of it. I want to fill out the whole thing, but again, remember what this knife is. It is an EDC knife. It's just for cutting open things, or maybe trying to cut open seat belts, that kind of thing. Now, I did go to Tor Knives to take a look at some of their other products. They do sell larger knives. So if you want something larger, you can go over there, but Core Essentials is the one that sent me this. And I'm a huge fan of their belts and all their kit. I do like the fact that they are reaching out and putting more and more guy type stuff kit on their website, so I'm a huge fan of that. This does come in this style where it is a subdued look. This is a carbon fiber handle. All right, so if you look at that, you look at the scales, they look really, really nice. Again, they do not go all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom, but I do have extra large hands, and for me, it fits very, very well in my palm. Right hand, left hand works very well. It also has a lanyard loop in the back for anything that you want to put back there, maybe give you a little bit more extra grip. Wharncliffe style, probably not the best for a self-defense situation, but I do like it as an EDC. It really does allow you to put a lot of pressure on that tip without breaking it. All right, so I do like that. Let's get a little bit into the specs. All right, so Core Essentials and Tor Knives have teamed up to construct custom fixed steel blade knife that will become a staple in your EDC for years to come. It's made out of CPM S35VN steel, and the heat treatment Rockwell hardness is 59 to 61. Custom carved handle in a black or gray G10 high pressure fiberglass laminate. No two are the same. The specs of the overall knife is 6.5. The blade length and thickness is 2.5, and the thickness is 3/16, and it weighs approximately 4.7 ounces. Designed by Core Essentials, every component is made in the USA and a veteran-owned Tor Knives in San Diego, California. All right, so the blade out of the box comes super sharp. Again, I had no problem with the sharpness. All right, the blade is very sharp. You can use it for Amazon boxes, whatever. But for an EDC blade, it's pretty cool. Now, it also comes with a Kydex sheath. The Kydex sheath itself is kind of pressed in like that elephant style skin, and Olator knives come like that. All right, it's really nice. It does have a bunch of holes for options as far as belt loops or belt connections, or if you wanted a molly or a strap. The thing is that when you purchase this from Core Essentials, it does not come with any options. So you're only getting the knife and the sheath by itself. Nothing is attached. And I want people to understand that you need to pick something either from Tor Knives, go on the internet and figure out which one works with the holes or the spacing of the holes that are there. All right, now, as far as the sheath is concerned, this is what kind of irks me about this. Now, the sheath itself does not have any type of click retention that you would probably get in other knives. It's just kind of a press fit. Again, not terrible, but I want something that I know is a little bit more secure. Specifically, if I am carrying this as an EDC knife, I want to make sure that the knife is in there. With the ring that's attached or the ring that you use on these sheets, it's very, very difficult to do. As a knife maker myself and someone that uses Kydex for a living, I completely understand why it's very difficult to put a little bit more Kydex in here and then try to get your finger in there as well. It's very difficult to make these types of sheets. Now, it does have a thumb ramp in the back, which I do like because you're able to push off on it. And it also has a tensioner right here. This little tension nut that comes with it is a Chicago screw, and it has a rubber spacer in there. And what that allows you to do is to squeeze the Kydex a little bit tighter. As far as the spacing, the only thing that I was able to find that really works is you can get one of these. This is called the UltiClip. All right, 3.3. Now, again, you can get them on Amazon, you can get them on the manufacturer, or you can get them on Tor Knives. This unique clip right here, what this does is it allows you to connect it to any type of pants or clothing. It is not really loop-based, it is fabric-based. So this clip right here clips on here, and you have to squeeze it onto your clothing. Works really well for inside the waistband, especially if someone wears joggers or shorts. You can also use a large tech lock. The large tech locks will fit on the holes that are designed for this knife. The problem with a large tech lock is that this thing is almost the size of the blade or the blade itself. Kind of a problem. All right, so but if you wanted to be more secure, large tech lock will work. Small tech lock, okay, maybe. This will not work. All right, this one is not spaced for that. What this is just a Kydex belt loop. Ideally, traditionally, what I would do is use some type of strap, and that's what I did. I actually designed and made my own rubber strap where I put it on the belt loop itself, and it sits like that. Now, Tor Knives does make this strap. If you have to go over there and purchase it, I would highly recommend the strap if you're looking for a cross-draw solution. All right, not bad. Just understand that when you buy this knife, it does not have any belt attachments at all. Now, that being said, you can also put a lanyard on there if you wanted to carry it as a neck knife, but again, to each his own. So, some of the things that I really liked. I love the style, I love the way it looks, I love the way it cuts, and I like the steel. Everything I like about it, except for the handle does not go all the way to the top. I understand that the way that most knife manufacturers, especially the large ones right now, they are using CNC machines. All right, this is not done by hand. Again, that's what gives it that nice, crisp look. I would prefer that the scales go all the way to the top, wide. I don't want a space, and I certainly don't want hot spots. If I have to grip onto this sucker for dear life, I want to have as much palm swell as I can to make sure it doesn't come out of my hand. Again, to each his own. Some people don't mind that. Not a big deal for most folks. The ring, fantastic. Love it. I think that if this design, Wharncliffe, was more of a spear point or a Tonto, you could definitely call it a self-defense knife, but this is technically an EDC. Love the blade. I like what they did. I do like Core Essentials, and on the other side, you can see Tor Knives logo. Very, very, very well done. So let's go back up to the top. All right, guys. So this knife right now goes on Core Essentials for approximately $229.95, which is basically $230 plus shipping. I think it's a great knife. I think Core Essentials is definitely on the right track as far as EDC gear. This is a fantastic looking knife for an EDC. Small blade, lightweight. I like the steel. I like the rock hardness, and I do like the ring. I would ask Tor Knives to come up with a little bit better sheet, or you can go to another manufacturer if you really want to max out the retention on this sheet, or maybe feel a little bit secure about it. But as it comes in the box, this thing is a workhorse. You can beat it, you can use it all day long, and if you needed to defend yourself, you could probably do that as well. It is called the Defender for that reason. So will I continue to use this? Yeah, probably, most likely. I am going to get the strap from Tor Essentials. I think the strap makes it a little bit more easier to hold onto the belt, because I think something this small, if you have it upright like that, yes, it is a little bit more secure, but I don't like things pressing against my skin. I think in a horizontal position, it kind of makes sense because you can grab it with both hands, you know. So that's just me personally, but very, very well done. Thank you very much to Core Essentials for sending this out to me. Great little blade, guys. I would highly recommend it. I'll put the links down below. I also have a Core Essentials battle belt coming up, all right, in multicam, so make sure you tune in for that. Thank you very much, guys. What I need you to do is to like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, guys, stay safe.